Yo, what is up? Today I'm going to be making a video about whether or not college is a scam because I keep seeing things on TikTok saying it is a scam. Now, obviously I'm biased because I did just graduate college and I got a degree in accounting. So, I have a pretty big bias here, but I wanted to maybe debunk some of the reasons it's a scam that make no sense, or also point out that maybe some of the people saying it's a scam have some sort of agenda they might be trying to push. Let's get into the first video. All right, so we got another guy talking about how college is a scam. His name is Alex Sedlak or Seedlak. Let's listen to why he says that college is a scam.
College does nothing other than set you up for a life of slavery. Sure, you may be a doctor, one of the most prestigious jobs in the world, but guess what? You're still a slave. You have a boss telling you what days you have to come in, and if you disobey, you get fired. You may be a lawyer, but guess what? You still have to show up around other people's schedules. You could have the best college degree on the planet, but if you still have a boss, you're not free. You're a slave.
I hate to be that guy, but most people with a job are gonna have to have a boss. I mean, it's pretty much impossible unless you're the founder of the company and also the CEO. So unless you're doing that, then I guess you wouldn't have a boss. But even then, the people who work for you, you're their boss. So, after watching this, if this guy has employees, shouldn't they theoretically not want to work for him with this guy's logic?
And I hate to be that guy. And I know there's a lot of people out there that ask me, Alex, should I go to college? And I'm like, I don't want to tell you what to do because I know a lot of people will actually listen. You just have to understand yourself. Me personally, I cannot handle when someone tells me what to do. I get pissed off. I'm like, dude, you do not own me. I'm my own individual and I'm going to do what I want. That's why being an entrepreneur has been such a blessing in my life because I don't have to listen to anybody.
I'm not an entrepreneur, but you should still have to take criticism from people. Being an entrepreneur doesn't excuse you from having to listen to people. And what is his business where he's just this free?
All the shots in my life, I haven't woken up to an alarm clock in years. Now, sure, there's other people out there that like the comfort of a 9-to-5 job and their paycheck. Could never be me. I like risk, I like pressure. And that's why I've been able to live this life for myself. College won't really give you that opportunity. You're gonna be stuck. You're gonna be that guy that's gonna be like, damn, I have to go to work today or I would, bro. That will be you. And then you're gonna have kids that you have to pay for. You're gonna have a house. All these things that basically trap you in the rat race. So do with that as you wish.
I would argue that I would actually want to have kids in a house and that maybe that wouldn't trap me in the rat race. I would actually enjoy having kids since that brings a lot of fulfillment in life. So this guy's saying he's an entrepreneur, so he doesn't have to show up to work whenever he gets invited to stuff. But I know this guy's driving a really nice car and wearing a gold chain and a pretty expensive Lululemon shirt in the video, but most people that run a business that's theirs are not able to just show up to hang out whenever they want. They're usually pretty busy too. So, and he didn't even say what his business was, where he has somehow all the free times of not having a job, but also acting like he has all the money of having, I guess, the best job in the world. So I actually looked at this guy's account a little more and I found another video on the greatest scam ever, which is college. I was curious, so let's listen to some of the video.
College was literally designed to keep you poor. And so many people are starting to wake up to this, but so many still don't understand. I think it's funny how people will talk shit about courses, and I'm not going to promote my own here, but they talk shit about courses and people there's drop shipping courses, Amazon courses, trading courses, you name it, there's a course for everything. And a lot of people obviously make shitty courses, but 1 out of every 5 is probably an actual good course that's going to teach.
Okay, I'm gonna just stop the video here. It kind of makes sense when he said, oh, I'm not gonna promote mine. So this guy has a course over basically how to get rich quick, which are all the categories he just listed: drop shipping, trading, selling stuff on Amazon. All of those are promoted to get rich quick. And college is about, I guess, actually having a long-term successful career. So it would make sense that a guy promoting and I guess potentially selling a course, maybe it's free, I don't know, but clearly profiting off of a course on how to get rich quick would be pushing an agenda that college is bad. All right, so we got a video right here of this guy, Dan Martell, and let's see what his thoughts are on whether or not college is a scam when he's talking to this kid here.
What are your thoughts on university?
Do you want to go to university?
Well, it depends on what the upsides are.
If your parents want to pay for it 100%, I say do it. The problem right now, if you look at the cost of university versus salary, it didn't keep up. So the ROI of getting a degree is not there. Ask me how many resume educations I look at when I hire somebody.
How many?
0. Dude, I've never looked. I talk to the person, I look at what they've done, ask about their experience. I don't care what university they went to. Most of my engineers I hire, they're self-taught. If you know what you want to do, just go do it.
Yeah, so you're never gonna guess this, but this guy here coincidentally sells some sort of coaching service. And also, just because you see a guy on TikTok saying, I don't care if this person has a college degree, that does not mean that the world doesn't care. Most engineering jobs that pay a lot, first of all, I don't know what this guy's business is, but all of the good jobs that hire people, the ones that pay a lot, I guess not all, but the majority of them, the ones with the prestige, the ones that really push your career forward, they require a college degree. Yeah, this guy sells a coaching course, so I don't think it's too big of a surprise that this guy is against college. All right, so we got this guy here. Why college is a scam. Chatio Trades, he's got the Supreme hoodie on, so that's how you know he's rich or a fan of Rice Gum. Either way, he's got like $500 to $1,000 to drop on a regular hoodie that says Supreme on it. So I should probably take his advice here.
95% of college degrees are useless nowadays.
Okay, 95% is a huge number. I'm just gonna say, if you major in pretty much any business major, any STEM, I mean, a lot of other jobs also you can become a teacher with, which I know doesn't pay a lot, but the world needs teachers. So I'm still gonna say it's useful and people want to do that job. I'm just gonna say that 95% of them aren't useless, but a lot of them are. So let's just say it was a rounding error.
And you're paying anywhere upwards of like 30 to 50K just to go to some mid school and get mid information.
If you're paying 30 to 50K a year for your tuition, that's insane. If you go to an in-state school, I mean, if you live in California, that's different, but I think if you're rich enough to live in California, you're already in a pretty good spot. But other states, if you're going to an in-state school that's public, it is not 30 to 50, especially 50K a year. Definitely not 30 to 50. That's more expensive than my college was, even with housing and groceries and textbooks. And I had to take extra classes each year to catch up because I switched majors.
Thing and everything that you can learn from college, you can learn from an online course or YouTube for absolutely free or significantly less than what you paid to go to college. If you're going to college for anything other than being a doctor, lawyer, or engineer, it is absolutely a waste of time.
Okay, that covers huge ground. Doctors, lawyers, and engineers. That's a lot of people. And also, what about people that go into the finance industry, which is not trading? By the way, this guy has a trading account, which is another get rich quick, sort of type of idea. So it makes sense that this guy hates college too, because he's selling the idea of getting rich quick. If you're going into finance, if you want to do some sort of marketing job, if you want to do anything like that, if you want to even do journalism, you kind of need a college degree. Yes, you can learn how to do a lot of stuff on YouTube, but college teaches you more. Like watching a YouTube video, you don't learn the same amount.
Information is already out there for free. And you want to know what the craziest thing is? People are graduating from college, getting themselves in debt to not be able to find a job. And when they do find a job, it gets replaced because what's out there now? AI.
With a lot of jobs, the credibility of who did something makes a pretty big difference. I think a lawyer, I don't know how AI is gonna go represent someone in court. I mean, you could say the internet could have already ruined this whenever everything went on the internet, but what happened was people just started using the internet to do their jobs more efficiently. I don't think AI is gonna be taking over. I think it's probably going to just be a tool used by people in the workforce. But the point is, this is also, he's talking about something that is a possibility, and he's saying college is a scam based on something that nobody knows about yet, because it's something that's a prediction of the future.
Literally passed the bar exam now, which if you're not familiar is like the main test to become a lawyer. I'm telling you, bro, we're not far away from the first AI court case where you don't even need a lawyer no more. You're just gonna have an AI fighting your case for you.
I think he meant you don't need a lawyer anymore, not no more. I can see this guy probably did not do well in his college English class.
That's the point that I'm trying to get across, right? People are going to college, getting themselves in severe debt just to get a job that's going to get replaced by AI. From a business standpoint, it just makes sense. If I'm the CEO of a company, why would I pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for employees to do tasks when I could just have AI do it for $0? The main goal for most business owners is to lower overhead costs so they can increase profit margins. So how do you overcome this? Don't work for someone else. Work for yourself and start a business. You want to use AI, not be replaced by it. Look, all I'm saying is they better drop them college prices or I'm gonna just go to YouTube University where the information is free and better.
Okay, first of all, the information's not better, but this guy sells a day trading course. Actually, he doesn't sell a course, but he makes day trading content. So again, you're selling the idea to get rich quick. You probably wouldn't want people to think that college is a good idea, since that's more of a long-term mindset, and things like day trading and drop shipping sell the idea of you can make millions of dollars at 13 years old, even though you can't. I guess there might be that 1 in a million kid who somehow makes a bunch of money doing that. All right, so next we got this guy, and let's hear his point on why college is a scam. I'm not gonna lie, I actually didn't watch this video yet. I didn't finish the last video I watched either. I think I only watched some of the Charlie Kirk ones.
I've seen living proof that college would literally rob you of everything you had, throw you on the curb, and knock it the fuck, bro. That shit is a scam. I don't care what anyone says. My mom was a literal PhD, the highest degree they can achieve. Like, she went countless nights and days working, barely even seeing us as a kid. She finally achieved her PhD. I said, Mom, was it all worth it? She literally told me in 9 days, no, it was not worth it. Because I work above and beyond, no matter what I do, uncapped at a certain amount in terms of my income. I work above and beyond everyone else, and what they only do is just give me a small reward. And that was the day I knew I did not want to go to college, because
what does his mom do for a living? Like, what did she get her PhD in? I feel like that's some important information they're gonna talk about before you start calling it a scam. He's saying, my mom got a PhD and is capped. First of all, what is the cap on her income? If it's 50K, that's unfortunate if you have a PhD. What if it's 250? I feel like there's some information being left out that's pretty important here.
So why would I spend 50, 60, 70 grand a year at literally 18 years old, not knowing what I wholeheartedly want? 50, 60 to go to college, because why would I spend 50, 60, 70 grand a year at literally 18 years old, not knowing what I wholeheartedly want to do?
50, 60, 70 grand a year? Yeah, maybe if you go to some private school or out-of-state school, or maybe international, but you're not paying that at a basic in-state school.
And not even be guaranteed a job. And if I am guaranteed a job like that, I'm gonna make 50 grand a year and pay off that debt for the next, like, who knows how long. And that's why so many young people nowadays are saying screw school and going all in while they're young and have the most energy, because that's when they can take the most risk. When you're like 40, 50 years old and you're working a job, you
Kind of weird, the music just cut out mid-video.
can't just drop everything that you had and go all in on like a freaking side hustle, bro. You have a family to feed. At like 18 and in your 20s, that's when you can actually take the most risk, go all in, and do everything that you can to potentially find out what you truly want to do and set yourself up for life if you play your cards right.
Okay, what do you mean go all in your 20s? Wouldn't getting a degree... I don't understand what this guy's talking about. I'm assuming he's talking about starting some sort of business. If you're starting a business, wouldn't you want some work experience in the business you're about to start in before starting a business? Let's say I start a restaurant. It'd be kind of weird if I made my own restaurant without at least having worked at some point in a restaurant. But if you want to start a huge business that makes tons and tons of money, you would definitely want the knowledge before going into it. So if you look at this guy's account, let's go to his Linktree. Free course, make your first 100K with meme coins. Okay, that's how you're gonna lose all of your money. And then cheapest and best meme coin platform, parentheses, max off fees. I think that the people promoting that college is a bad idea may be also pushing some sort of other agenda. Selling a course. This guy selling some meme coin course. The guy with the Supreme hoodie makes videos about day trading, which people lose their money on because it's basically just gambling. You're taking the stock market, which is meant to create wealth, no long-term investing, and they are turning it into just straight up gambling. And the problem with it is that these people who are using the stock market to gamble are thinking that what they're doing is smarter than everyone else. At least people who go to the casino know what they're doing is dumb. People that go to gamble and just think, oh, I'm gonna day trade, think they're smarter than other people because they're escaping the matrix, even though they're actually just gambling all of their money away. I think college is kind of a waste of money now after seeing this. I think I'm just gonna make a course scamming people on the internet since it seems to be the new wave. If you are majoring in art or something or some communications degree, you're probably most likely not getting your money back. But if you major in engineering, which I know is the most overglazed major of all time. If you're majoring in engineering, even a business major, which I know is hated on a lot. I'm again biased because I majored in accounting there, but that any sort of STEM, if you get your PhD, you can make a lot of money doing research. And also most colleges pay students to get PhDs, so you're not even spending more money to get the PhD. If you majored in something good and you were really trying to get internships while you were there, because they bring employers to most colleges, they have career fairs, you get to talk to employers, and you do kind of learn how to speak the language of what field you're in. So, let's take me. If I got in a conversation about accounting with an employer, I would kind of know what I'm talking about from all my classes. I think most majors are like that, and it helps people get jobs. And a real person who's trying to get internships and trying to talk to employers, they make good grades, and let's say they intern once or twice during their college year, they're gonna be fine, but it's not like you're handed the internship. It helps people that are hardworking excel their life. Yeah, that's about all for now. It's kind of a rant at the end. All right, so now I have to go, so the video's ending. I need to go work on my day trading course, and I'm gonna go scam some 13-year-olds. And I'm also not gonna upload after this, since I'm gonna be making too much money off of scamming 13-year-olds on my day trading course. So goodbye, guys.